Hi everyone and welcome to SWPL My Story Short, and today we are joined by Boroughmuir captain Iris Ramage. How are you, Iris?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
No, I'm great, thank you, and thanks so much for joining us today to talk about your
Good.
team and how the season's going so far.
Thanks for having me.
So, a couple of weeks ago, you had your League Cup match against Queen's Park, who are flying at the top of the league at the moment, scoring goals for fun. But you've managed to get the win and get yourselves through to the quarter final. After a bit of an indifferent start for Boroughmuir, I take it that was a massive result for you girls and a bit of reassurance of you're on the right path.
Yeah, no, definitely. It boosted our confidence a lot. We, as you said, haven't really had the start that we kind of wanted, but football sometimes just like that, is that you have to ride these kind of roller coasters with it. And yeah, it's definitely given the girls a bit of a push and a bit of a belief that we are where we need to be in terms of mentally and physically. We just need to really push on what our Andy's asking us to do. And I think on that Sunday we did that and we proved that we can do that. So just need to kick on from that in the league now.
So obviously with that win, the draw took place last week and it set up a huge quarter-final tie for you against Rangers away. Obviously a daunting prospect, but that's why you all play the game. You want to be pushing on to play against the top teams, against the top players, and really test yourself.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, the the competition is all about that, and you always face that risk when you get to these points in the competition. I mean, even the last round, you face the risk of getting these bigger teams, but it's a great experience. And we played Celtic last season, and for me personally, it's like great playing against these girls that are fighting for the top of that league, and we are fighting for the top of this league. So it is great, and although it's maybe not the easiest team to come against. I do think that football's a game and 90 minutes is 90 minutes. So we need to go out and do our best pretty much and see what happens. And from there, we take it. So yeah, it's really looking forward to it. I think all the girls are, to be honest. But yeah, no, we need to, I think our focus right now is still the league. Like as much as that win was really important against, excuse me, Queen's Park. Um, it as you said, the cup can sometimes only take you so far, but the league's really important. And our goal this year was for the league. So as much as this cup's really important, our next games are really important too. I mean, we didn't get to play St Johnstone at the weekend because of the weather, which was it was a wee bit annoying because obviously we were on a run against Queen's Park, which we played really well, and we were hoping to then go into St Johnstone game feeling confident, which we will be. But yeah, we're really just trying to take each week by week at the minute. So we're probably not really thinking about the cup as much as maybe we should be. But this, as I said, every game is really important to us because we've not got the run that we should have at the start. So yeah, no, it's really a good opportunity for us to even just play against girls that are just as you said, international girls that are at the top of their game at the minute, and being a defender as well, it puts you against people that you don't come against wingers that are as good as these girls very often. So it's a really good challenge personally and for the team. So no, we are really looking forward to it.
Well, as you've said, maybe an indifferent start for Boroughmuir. You're looking to use this as a platform. You yourself were announced as captain this season, so obviously a proud moment for yourself. And is that an extra responsibility that you now thrive on, and you use that as motivation for yourself in your own game?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm quite young, so I've not actually had that many experiences of being the senior players a lot of the time. I've been captain once in my whole career when I was about 15, 16, and as soon as I got given that armband, that I do think something changes within you, and that you now have to set the standard, and you now lead the team. So if not necessarily just to do with performance, but effort and training and everything, it does put a wee bit more pressure on you. But I think in a good way. I don't think it's a pressure that you think that sometimes it can be overwhelming, but not. I think because you're doing it for your players, it's quite a nice pressure sometimes. It takes that kind of choice away a lot of the time because you don't really have a choice. That you need to get on with it and you need to work hard. And in games like Queen's Park, it was. I mean, we were winning 3-1, and then they bring it back to 3-3, and it's a moment where you think we need to be on the better end of this time. Like we can't be on the worse end. So it is a moment where you need to get a grip of the girls on the pitch and really push them on and have trust within your teammates. And I do, and that's I think as you're asking, is it a pressure and is it overwhelming sometimes? But I don't think it is. The girls in my team are very mature girls. They all play. They've all been playing for years, and I don't really feel like I need to always push them all the time. We all work really hard, and we've we've not had the start that we wanted, but sometimes it's difficult. Like pre-season's not very long, and I don't want to say too much, but Andy's come into a team and he has changed a lot from last season. Like I was here last season, and to be honest, it's completely changed. Like everything's changed, every aspect of everything's changed, and he's brought in a lot of new players, which are all really good and great aspects to the team. But again, it's hard. You're changing a complete set of players to something else, and we're changing formations, and sometimes it's hard to work out what works, what's not working. But saying that, I think now we are in a very steady place. It's probably the most steady we have been since pre-season, and since the league. And as I said previously, the cup game, Queens Park have been flying, and we've been noticing. Obviously, like we look at the league, we look at who's playing, and especially me, I feel like I always look to you always like eye up your opponents who you're playing and stuff. But yeah, they have been fine, and we were obviously thinking that before the cup game. Again, probably one of the teams we were thinking this is going to be a harder game than it could have been. But it just shows you that sometimes results don't always play on what's actually true. And not saying that people don't deserve results. If you get the results, you've completely deserved it. But I do think we're in a place now where we will get results. And as long as we keep pushing on and keep doing what we're asked, I think we will get results, and we will now be fighting further up the table. So, but this league's always been weird. When I was in it, I've been in it for this my third year in it, and it's always just such a weird league. Like last season, it was the same. We were kind of sitting fifth, fourth a lot, and then next minute we're fighting for second, like with a few more games to go, and then it's just like it's just a really strange league. And I suppose Gartcairn were set, like they were finishing second, and now look at them. So it's a really great league actually to be a part of, and I think the more like representation it gets, the better, because it's a lot of time like dumbing down for a league that's not that competitive, but it's very competitive. And I think the top league's getting like that, to be fair, a lot more when you look at the table now. But yeah, no, it's great to be a part of. Like it's nothing but enjoyment, to be honest. Like as a captain as well, I'm honoured that Andy wanted me to be captain. When he first kind of asked me to put the armband on during pre-season, kind of part of me was thinking, oh, like this is quite a lot. Like I do have quite a busy life outside of football, which I suppose you have to deal with that when you're not a full-time player. You have to manage everything, and I'm a student as well, so I was kind of I'm in my third year, so I was kind of like this is just quite a lot of pressure for me right now. But as I said, I've found that I've been captain. I do feel like it's actually not as much a pressure than some might think it is, and it's just I'm really enjoying it. I love all the girls. They make me feel like I'm doing a good job, so I can't really complain. So yeah, no, it's great.
Now, obviously, you've got a new management team in place. Andy Edwards came in. I know Andy well. He's been around the game a long time with multiple teams and been successful. Have you seen what he's trying to do to push the team on? As you said, you were sitting second with a few games to go last season, just missed out on the playoffs. But again, that's going to be an ambition for you to try and push for those places again.
Yeah, no, definitely. Andy's he's a great manager, and I think him coming in from last season has really opened up the girls from last season's eyes to this season. I think not that last season wasn't good, it was difficult. It got towards the end of the season, it was tough for a lot of us. I felt like that was kind of the atmosphere I was getting at the changing room. But as soon as I found that Andy was coming in, I was pretty certain that I was staying. I've worked with Andy a few times, and I think his drive for football is just like incredible. I've never known anyone to love football like Andy loves football, and he loves it, which you can't beat that within your manager. And all he wants is to push us as individuals and as a team, and I think that's really important for us, just for motivation. And as I said, this league's not easy. Like it's not an easy league to win. It's not an easy league to compete in sometimes. Like if you're not feeling up to your game, there's times where you, as I said, you're riding this roller coaster where you are going through bad points and you're going through really good points, and then you go for highs and lows. But he's very good at keeping us at a standstill, very much. Like we're always steady. Like there's times where we're not playing well, but you know what, we keep the same mentality, we keep everything the same, and then there's times where we beat Queen's Park, who are a very good side, who are playing very well. And yes, that was a really big win for us, but we're still all very much, I don't know if humble is the right word, but we're very much respectful of other teams, and that you don't know what's going to happen sometimes. But no, Andy's been great, and the whole management team's been great. And they're really pushing us to do basically what they want, what they think is going to work. And things haven't worked. There's been things in pre-season that we thought had worked, and then we started the season and it wasn't working. And he very quickly changed that, and I think from changing that, it's improved a lot. But he's the whole team. We all are very transparent. Like everything's very much gets talked about between all of us, what we think and what's important. And yeah, it's completely different. Like it's very very much professional in the most professional way it can be when you play like semi-professional football. Um, so yeah, no, he's well, they're really pushing us, which is obviously you have to be pushed if you want to win the league. But yeah, no, it's good. We're in a really good place at the minute. Everyone's really positive, and that comes from Andy, to be honest. So yeah, no, it's all really good. Everyone's gelling well at Boroughmuir.
But I think we'll need to take this opportunity now that we've got on to speak about Boroughmuir Thistle as a club. Very much in the same mould as Glasgow City. It's a girls only club. They have an affiliation with a men's professional team. But I think the size of the club and how it's thriving, I think it probably goes under the radar a little bit just how big Boroughmuir Thistle are. And the number of teams that they have and the number of girls that they have on their books, and they really are pioneers in what they're doing, as I say, alongside Glasgow City.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I always say this when people ask me about Boroughmuir, and I genuinely don't. I genuinely don't say this. I've been to a lot of football clubs and played with a lot of different girls, and that's no disrespect to the girls I've played before. They're all great, but Boroughmuir was the one team that I came into that I gelled instantly with the girls, and everyone that I know that have come from Hibs and Hearts, where I've come from, has said the same thing. Which is, it's funny that people say that, because I do think that comes from it being a very much women focused game, and I think that comes from that, like, friend, that it's just so friendly. Like, genuinely, I've never been to a team, not that saying that other teams aren't friendly, it's not that, but there's no like social groups within the group. It's very much like we are a team and we will always be a team, and that reflects down on the younger teams as well. We've got young ball girls at the game every week, most weeks, and they're we genuinely really do appreciate all the girls' support that they come and watch, and it makes you feel really empowered, to be honest, as a woman playing football. And yeah, no, it definitely goes under the radar. I mean, I didn't even know how big Boroughmuir was in terms of women's and just girls football. I never really even thought about it in that way. But yeah, it's massive, and that's why I feel there is more pressure on us as the first team girls to really give that belief to young girls to keep playing and to get to this point. And we've got a young striker in our team, Cara, at the minute, who's been scoring goals, and she's 16, 17, and she's in the team and she's playing really well, getting played every week, but getting pushed by Andy to be great. And that it just shows that we there is a real emphasis for a pathway at Boroughmuir, for girls and women, to be playing and always supported. So no, it's a great team to play, to be a part of. It's a great team to captain. And yeah, we appreciate all the girls' support, and we know that they're there watching our games. I always like speaking to them, giving them a wee shout out, because that's all they do. They're very supportive of us, which is always really nice. It's nice to have that when you're watching. Like, I never had that when I was younger. Even though I'm still pretty young, but even when I was young, I never had like little girls watching and thinking in it. I actually got a wee fan mail last season, which I thought was just insane. Like, as much as it's Boroughmuir, I thought that was insane. Just like little girls reaching out to you, which it always feels good. And it's so important to have that within your club. So no, it's Boroughmuir is great. It's a great club to play for.
Oh, that's fantastic, Iris. I think like around the country, and everybody knows the pathway that Boroughmuir is on, what they're trying to do, and I think it should be replicated more if I'm honest. And as you said, with it being more girls and women based, it probably just gives you that bit more support as well, knowing that you're not just the women's team of a men's club, you are a club
Yeah,
in your own
yeah,
right. So no, that's great. But thanks very much for joining us the game today and giving
no
us such
problem.
insight into how things are going at Boroughmuir.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks so much for having me. It's great to talk to you.
And thank you everyone for joining us on SWPL My Story Short.